Yes, yes, yes. We are live. It is Sunday, May 17th, 2020. It is 2 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 7 p.m. in the UK. And I'm here with the one and only Chris Rich Beats, man. Chris, what's going on, bro? How are you, man?
Good, bro. How are you?
Hey, man, no complaints, bro. I'm living, man. I'm living. So we appreciate you jumping
hmm
on with us, man. I know there's a slight delay that we tested, so everybody watching, just give Chris 2 to 3 seconds to respond to some of these questions. But for the most part, everything is good to go. We're really excited to have him here today. If you guys are not familiar with who Chris is an incredible producer from the UK. Where are you from? You're from Wales, right?
From Wales, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
not
So,
England.
yep. So he's from Wales. Chris has a very interesting story. He predominantly, and I could say mainly, produces like drill UK drill beats. And it's actually somebody that I stumbled across within the last 6 months on YouTube. And I noticed what he was doing on YouTube and how incredible his sound was and his marketing and kind of everything that he was doing. And then he eventually came over to BeatStars about, I'd say, what, 3 to 4 months ago. I think that sounds accurate.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, so
yeah,
I mean he's been on BeatStars now for 3 or 4 months. He's been making a lot of dope moves. Has been steady on the platform, has been super consistent. So let's talk about being on YouTube, being on Instagram, being on all these social channels and selling beats through email. What was that like? When did you start doing that actually? So when did like your business
Hmm.
model start of selling beats online exactly?
I probably started doing it in about early 2019, around that sort of time. But the problem is like always at the start, you get no one buying the beats. So I mean, I just carried on doing that until probably earlier this year, and then it just got too hard to handle. I was having too many people messaging me, all this stuff going on. So and then I had no choice but to move to BeatStars.
Hey, well, we're glad you came over, man. You had some incredible stuff on YouTube. I mean, when I was searching for like UK drill beats, and this was before Pop Smoke passed away, R.I.P. Pop Smoke.
Mm,
But
RP.
you were dominating. You were dominating on YouTube, man. And then when I noticed that you weren't using a platform to sell, I'm like, this guy's probably losing his mind just responding to everybody. So,
Yeah, for
um,
real.
so how's the transition been, man? So you were on YouTube, Instagram, you were selling beats, going through DMs back and forth, sending files back and forth. I don't even know if you were
Yeah,
sending
contracts.
contracts. Um,
Mm.
what's the difference been like since you changed? Like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the easeability. That's not even a word, I don't think. But like, it's obviously easier, I would assume, to be able to use BeatStars and have everything
It's
sent.
much smoother. Yeah,
Okay.
it's much smoother because it took about one day's work just to get all the beats on BeatStars. But as soon as I done that, everyone was buying them, and it was just like I could just leave it to do its own thing, and I didn't have to respond to anyone for once. I
No,
just chill.
that's amazing, man. And how's
Um,
how's this how's the sales been since? So when you went from YouTube and selling it through YouTube and Instagram just directly to being on BeatStars, I mean, you don't have to put an amount on it, but what would you say? 20 times more, 10 times more, 50 times
mm,
more? I mean, how do you think it's increased and been able for you to grow your business this quick?
definitely more than 10 times because I have to consider the marketplace as well.
Hmm.
Because the marketplace is a really good way for people to find my beats, and I get a lot of marketplace sales as well as my pro page. So yeah, probably 10, 20 times. I can't put a value on it, but it's a lot
Yeah.
more. It's the easiness that's most important for me. It's the fact that um I don't have to like reply to messages all day, and I can just get on with my life.
No, it's amazing, man. I'm really glad that you're on the platform, man. Obviously, we're fans, and I was personally a fan months and months ago, and I was hyped when you said you would come over and join. And
Mm,
I think you're going to do some incredible things on here, man. Speaking on the marketplace, though, you bring up a really good point. So the marketplace is what I tell people all the time. It's like free traffic, right? And you,
100%.
yeah, you have your pro page and you pretty much dictate your business. And this is what I tell everybody, new, old, doesn't matter how long you've been on the platform. You dictate your traffic to your pro page, your website, whatever you're using, you can drum up that traffic, whether it's through social media, through YouTube or SoundCloud or paid advertising. But when you're on the marketplace, I mean, it's just tons of people coming in, from
Mm,
artists to managers to labels. Like, it's a ton of people. And that traffic is just there. So, and then not only that, you can do playlists. And I know you made a playlist of about 10 of your favorite beats. And this is something I encourage everybody to do, is to make playlists of your own stuff, and even make playlists with people's stuff that you like on the platform.
Yeah.
Some people might say that's counterproductive, but in my eyes, the more you're able to work and show people support as well and collaborate, it's only going to help your business in the long run. So, what about the marketplace specifically, Chris? Have you really noticed that you've liked? Obviously, the sales are great, but like the interaction and like, you know, what is your favorite thing, I guess, about the marketplace overall?
I think the negotiations is pretty cool, because that's quite interesting. I've never seen like any other websites do something like that. And then also I like the BeatStars playlist as well, because there was a UK drill playlist I saw.
Yep.
And I recognized some of my producer friends on that playlist as well. Like my friend Kaza, he's on that, and Hargo, they were on those playlists, which I thought was crazy, because they like, I've met them, and yeah, it's bonkers.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, the playlists are personally one of my favorite things too. So, and again, it's something that we're always preaching to people, because it's just an opportunity for you to hit more people on the marketplace. A lot of people search through the search bar, but they actually, you know, drop down the menu to playlist. So if they search Chris Rich and you don't have a playlist up, they're not going to get anything, because there would be nothing in there. So everybody watching, definitely, it's a great tactic to use, and it's just a great way to organize your tracks as well. So let's get back to your starting out. So you said you started out, I guess, early 2019 selling beats. Is that when you actually started selling beats? When did you actually start making beats? Like what got you into that too? I'm curious, like, where your inspiration and like your musical background and stuff comes from.
Probably about 2015, 2016 time. It was mainly just the whole SoundCloud scene when that was taking over and that was going crazy. No Jumper and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, just inspired me, because it was quite easy to make trap beats. So I just started then, and then since then I've delved into lots of different types of music, and drill is what I like at the moment.
Interesting. So you didn't actually start out with drill. You started out with more like like trap sound. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you start out using? FL Studio, or what did you dive?
I've always used FL Studio.
FL Studio. Okay, that's dope, man. And when did the transition go from trap to like the UK drill? Like when did you figure out that you had something? Because obviously, when I was searching for you on YouTube 6 months ago, I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Because you're on BeatStars, and I didn't see you anywhere else on any other platform, which is great, by the way. But I noticed you on YouTube. So, like, when did that transition from like making trap beats to UK drill, etc., take place?
I mean, I've always listened to UK drill, but it was about 2018 I really started. 2018, that was when I was trying to sell them as well. I just started making drill beats because I thought it's a really interesting sound, and not many people were doing it. So yeah, that's when I started really.
And when did you notice it really take off? Because like I said, when I found you on YouTube, like, your channel was killing it, man. Like, you had the best channel for sure for UK drill. So like, when you started uploading those UK drill beats, did it take off right away, or was it kind of been like a slow transition? Yeah. Okay.
For the whole of 2019, pretty much, it was just UK rappers using UK drill beats. So there were already quite a few UK producers who were doing quite well. But it wasn't until it was after Drake used the UK drill beat for his song War, and I realized that was in like December time, and I realized, oh, there's gonna be loads of American people trying to buy beats now. So then I just sort of rebranded my whole channel to not just be UK drill, but for American artists like Pop Smoke and Fabio Foreign and Drake and all these other people.
That's crazy, man. So up until this point, you have a lot of dope beats out there, but the one that really sticks out to me is Woo. What do you feel like? I'll give you some insight to the people watching too. So Woo on BeatStars right now has 60. Is that 6 or an 8? That's a 6. It's a 62.1 thousand plays on BeatStars. What do you think? And we're gonna play it right after this. But what do you think makes that beat so special that so many people have been purchasing it, downloading it, recording to it, whatever?
I just think it's a hard beat. It's a really aggressive beat. It's a perfect Pop Smoke type beat. So I think that's the reason.
Word. Well, like many producers that I know, man, I've been in this game for 15 plus years. I know a lot of producers have been in the production side of things for a long time. You guys don't like to talk a lot. I know that. I know you just are like play my shit, right? So let's play Woo real quick. We're gonna show the people this beat. It's one of my favorites from you. I think it's the beat that I actually found on YouTube from you that made me go, whoa, who's this guy? So let's play this real quick. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna check this joint out. All right. Okay, click here, click there, and hit share. Everybody let me know when they can see my screen.
I can see it.
Perfect. All right, so this is a playlist that Chris made. It's called Sunday Sound for today, obviously. And Chris, if you want to keep this title after, or you want to change it to something else, like my top 10 drill beats or something like that, more than welcome to, bro. But yeah, let's check out Woo. Let's click on it actually and open it up. So yeah, I mean, dude, over 1,000 likes, 52 reposts, 76 comments, 62.1 thousand views. UK drill, Pop Smoke tags. What are your other tags here? And NY drill. I think the tags are great for this.
Yeah.
Let's listen to it, and then let's get into your titles and your artwork, because I noticed something for sure that you have a tactic on how you do stuff, and we'll talk about that. But let's listen to Will. Let me know if you can hear this real quick. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Can you do me a favor? When I play a track, can you just mute your mic as well, just so there's no feedback?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
It's a bit quiet, man.
It's a bit quiet, you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, let me see. Let's play this, see what happens.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Crazy, man. That beat is absolutely nuts to me. You know, when I listen to music, bro, and I mean, I'm sure most people are like this, but you know, music has to spark an emotion. Sometimes it's not even necessarily about what somebody's saying when it comes to an artist. You know what I mean? It's sometimes how they say it, and especially with beats, it's just sometimes, you know, they hit a certain way and they just spark different emotion, and that definitely sparks some emotion, and it's evident in, you know, your success that you've had so far, especially with that track. So let's talk about titles, man. I've noticed. So let's go back to this playlist real quick. What is your strategy with these titles? Because to me, when I look at this, they're one word titles. They're usually one syllable for the most part, if not all of them. Actually, I think they all are. What is the strategy behind that?
Just having short and snappy titles. I think that's the best, because you can see that whatever the title is, and you sort of get an idea for what the beat is. So, for instance, Woo is it's obviously going to be a pop song type beat. So that's the sort of like the thoughts behind it.
Okay. And what about your images too? I know we spoke briefly right before we got on the call, but strategically, I mean, are you using artists, and you're getting close to their face, or what exactly is the strategy behind that too?
All my photos are usually screenshots from the artist's music video, and I'll just take it into Photoshop, edit the colors a bit, make sure everything's really vibrant and punching out, and make sure everything's got like a solid color. So, for instance, with Woo, it's blue. With one called Prey, it's a orange. They usually like having a big primary color. I think is quite important because they're quite eye catching and striking, and also having faces. I think is important as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so if you look at Chris's photos here, artwork for each track, you can see how all these colors are, they pop to me, you know. And I think faces, this is something that myself and Dev, who's our CMO here, talk about all the time, faces and names, right? So I think it's really important to see a face or a name, which in this case would be the title of the track, that's, you know, snappy, like you said. I think there's something to be said here. So everybody in the chat, all 100 and some of you, shout out to all of you, by the way, check out Chris's tracks. Look exactly what he does. I think there's something to be learned from this. And I'm not saying you all have to run out and start making one word the same artwork, but I'm just saying, if you don't have a strategy in place for your titles and your artwork, you're not doing enough. There needs to be a strategy for everything. And you're not just putting up stuff to put it up. So I think this is a really key point that a lot of people look over. Obviously, at the end of the day, your content is number one, and that's going to drive, you know, your traffic, your fans, your customers, etc. But there's all these small things that you could be doing that that could really help the brand. Let's
I think
talk.
at the same time, like the cover art is or the thumbnails are really important because when someone hasn't heard the beat yet, they're not going to know what it sounds like. So the picture sort of gives an idea. If it was just the Chris Rich Beats logo, it doesn't really tell the person clicking on anything. I feel like these images, it can transport you into the beat, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. No, I agree 100% with you, bro. I think what you're doing is super smart. I think it's also super simple. I don't think it's brain surgery. You know what I mean? Like I think it just makes sense for what you're doing. And I think it makes sense for everybody, to be honest. But obviously not exactly the same. I think everybody just needs to have some kind of strategy in place. You know what I mean? So let's talk about your tag, man, because I love your tag. Who did that? Was that somebody you just hired online, or was that
I hired on the website called Fiverr. I hired her. It was an audiobook person, like someone who reads out audiobooks. So it wasn't even a voice tag because I wanted to stand out, and all the voice tag people just sound the same to me. So I decided to get an audiobook reader and then made her read out like 50 tags, and that was the best one.
That's so dope, man. How important do you think a tag is? Because I have my own opinions on this. I'm just curious what you think about it.
If it's not number one, it's definitely in the top three biggest priorities. I think the tags and just branding in general it's the most important thing about the beat, because even before the actual music itself, because it's just first impressions really.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know what it is, man, and why I'm such a big fan of tags too, because in 2020 and going forward, you know, platforms like TikTok and these other music platforms that are really expanding, all the producers in here, and Chris as well, obviously, you guys are artists. You guys are, and girls are, you know, you are entrepreneurs. You are a brand, and you are artists at the end of the day. And the more and more of these TikTok challenges that I see, and I see them going viral, you know why they go viral? Because of the beat and because of the tag. You know, the Reezy Renegade challenge, that was his tag.
And the Jetson Made, or the songs Jetson Made did.
That
Jetson
one.
Made's tag, that should blown him up.
Yep, Chrome, the producer Chrome, the Chrome challenge. So these are all challenges. So there's no reason why you can't put out records with no artists on them and distribute them and treat them like actual records, and then utilize them and collaborate and team up with dancers or just, you know, influencers. There's tons of different ways that you guys can use your music besides just selling leases or, you know, just selling exclusives or whatever it is. So try to think outside the box and hear what we're saying about why these things are important. I think they're super important. So I'm a huge fan of it. Let's check out another song for me, man. Let's check out Pray. This is obviously my second favorite beat. Did you put these in order just for me? I feel like you did. I'm messing around. But yeah, let's check.
These first two are my most sold.
There
That's
you
why I
go.
chose these first two.
Okay, so Woo and Prayer are his top two sellers.
Mhm.
And let's check out this one. So you kind of have like the same tags, right? So it's UK drill,
Yeah.
Top Smoke, UK drill. Did you also do? I know on the other one you did New York drill. Let's see what you did here. Meek Mill. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Also, real quick before I play this, another thing I noticed: your licenses. Where did you come up with the pricing for this? Because I'm gonna be 100% honest, they're a
Mhm.
little bit higher than the traditional licenses I'm seeing, but they're working.
Yeah, they're still
So
selling. So
that's what I
it's
mean.
basically because before, when I was selling them through Instagram and Gmail, they were still selling even at that price. And I just think when a beat's good, people don't care how much it costs; they'll just buy it. And
Yep.
also another thing to note, I had a top 10 in the UK, so I feel like my prices should be like just it's like do you know like Louis Vuitton? You don't
Yep.
buy Louis Vuitton for £5. You buy it for 1,000 or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like a luxury beat. So that's the way I sort of think of it.
Yeah, no, you valued yourself, and I feel like
Mm,
everyone should. I'm not, again, this isn't telling everybody to log off right now and go run and jack their prices up to $1,000 for an MP3
mm,
license, but you got to have value of your own work and what you put into it, and that you also feel is fair, for the consumer base. So everybody's different. I get this question all the day, being the community director, is what should I set my pricing to? I really feel like it's like anything in music marketing and music advertising, is just test things out and see what works for you. Obviously, you knew
yeah,
what.
it depends on each person.
Yep.
My strategy might not work for someone else.
Exactly. So Chris took the time to test it out, and he knew what the market wanted. It's also about supply and demand. If you have a
Yeah, there's
demand.
not a lot of people making drills, so that's another thing.
Yep. And I think when I first talked to you, Chris, if you remember this conversation, I just mentioned it to you. I said, listen, this lane is huge. You
Mm,
can have massive success on BeatStars because there's a lot of people looking for drill beats. And
100%.
that void was not filled 100%. We're starting to see it a lot more, and I still think there's a huge
Mm.
opportunity here for other producers. But yeah, you're definitely killing it, man. But yeah, let's play Pray, and check this joint out, and we'll talk about this record after.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Man, another slapper, bro. Definitely
Thank you,
hits.
bro.
Definitely hits, man. Another one of my favorites for sure. So these tracks, man. You obviously love the UK drill sound. I feel like you've
Hmm.
perfected it, in my opinion.
Thank you.
What is if you're since you're making so much UK drill, like what is your creative approach when you go to make a beat? Like what's your process like? I'm assuming we're on quarantine, so I know everybody's at home
Mm.
cooking and not in the studio, but where are you grabbing inspiration from? Are you listening to top charts or listening to some of these bigger records that are
Yeah.
using UK drill? Like what are you doing like overall for your process when you sit down? You're like, all right, I'm in front of FL Studio. What are you doing next? Like where are you getting that inspiration from?
Um, Well, I'm always listening to lots of different sorts of music. So, for instance, this melody was meant to be like a little baby sort of melody.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really meant to be a drill melody. And then I put some drill drums on it, and I thought, wow, this sounds pretty good. Like, let me just keep it how it is. It sounds pretty sick. So, yeah, it's about. I think with me in particular, I take a lot of inspiration from different melodies and different styles of rap and music than the typical drill song. The typical drill song is usually always quite dark, and they're always piano, and there's not much variation. But with me, I like to stand out. I like to be a bit different. So that's why that's really my process.
Interesting. All right, so I got a top three question for you. Who are your top three favorite artists right now? Like, who are you really listening to? And not even necessarily for inspiration, but I'd imagine if they're your favorite, they probably inspire you in some way. But like overall, like who are you listening to right now? Is it all UK drill, or are you listening to completely different genres?
I listen to everything. I literally everything. At the moment, I'm listening to a lot of Future since that new record came out on Friday. That album, absolute banger. Obviously Kanye, Drake, literally everyone. Just like this one's a Meek Mill. I put Meek Mill as in the title. I listen to Meek Mill a lot. Pop Smoke. It's a lot of different sort of stuff.
For sure. Shout out Meek, by the way, Philly in the house. I'm a Philly guy too. Shout out to him. Just had to get that in there. But yeah, man, it's dude, you're an interesting guy, man, and I mean that in a good way. Like, I just think like your style and what you're doing with your music is super dope. I feel like what really sticks out to me about your music too is like I can tell you're having fun with it. Like I can just tell you like you just love making beats and you just love doing what you're doing. So that's like one of the most important things too, because some people sometimes only focus on the money aspect or I need to get this sale or whatever. I feel like you're just making music and you're putting out what you want to, and I think that's super important for everybody, man. Like you know what I mean? Just have fun with it. Music's supposed to be fun. So, all right, man. Let's check out another track. Let's see what else we got on here. Let's see what we got. All right, so Soul is next. Let's see. Another Pop Smoke UK drill. Let's see what the third tag is. And a tribute. Is tribute an artist, or what does this mean exactly? If I don't know who it is, I apologize.
I made this beat the day before Pop Smoke died, and I didn't know. And then when he died, I was thinking, like, wow, this would be the perfect tribute to him. So that was the sort of idea of it.
Amazing. All right, cool. Let's check out Soul, man. This one's dope too. Let's check it out.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
God almighty, man. Shit is crazy.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm not trying to be a stan over here, but I'm a fan, bro. The shit is fire. You know what I noticed about your beats too, and it's something I probably noticed subconsciously in the past, but I'm really noticing it now as I'm honed in on listening to these tracks. I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong. I feel like a lot of your tracks almost have the same like sequence. Like it's kind of like
nah, the drill ones they do because it works.
that's what
I haven't bothered to change it.
Yeah, it feels like there's always in the middle there's like breakdown with either some type of harmony or melody or something. But it's dope. It
That's
works.
the exact sequence. Yeah.
Yep. So it works. Don't stop for sure, man.
Mm.
I think it's amazing, and it sticks out to me. You know what else it does too? It gives artists a really really easy pocket to get into, right?
Mm.
And that's what I think a lot of times people overlook. And maybe you can touch on this, but the importance of not, this might sound weird, dumbing it down, but simple is better sometimes.
Yeah.
When you give the artist something, you know what I mean? So touch on that a little bit. I mean, like, is that a process? And I'm assuming it is, that you go into a beat like, I'm trying to give them this pocket to do their thing and kind of make it easy for them to create a song too.
100%, because I think a lot of people forget that with hip hop music and with drill music, there needs to be a rapper on it as well. So you're not just making the beat to just play. There needs to be space for an artist to rap on it. So if you've got a million things going on in the mix, the rapper can't really use it because they're not gonna have any space to fit the words, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's definitely something I always think about when I'm making beats.
Absolutely, man. I think it's a good point. You know, I think everybody here watching, listening, is to keep that in mind. Now, if you're making a track specifically for a video game or for a TV show, you know, there's different ways to approach things. But if you're specifically going into a track, you know, that you hear somebody on it or you want somebody on it, that it's important not to overdo it. We had a show last Wednesday on the Beat Banner, and we had Brianna Marin on. She's an incredible singer. She's one of the top, she is the top selling hook seller on BeatStars. She's worked with everybody. I'll have to link you with her too, Chris. I think you guys
I'll get to look.
Yeah, she's a beast. That's my girl. I love her. But she really touched on when she's working with producers. When they send stuff that's overproduced for her to do a hook to, it turns her off. She's more into looking for a melody that she can take and then take it to the next level. So keep that in mind, you know, when working with songwriters, working with artists, stuff like that. But yeah, my next question, man, for you is, you got three I'm going to make it another three. A lot of 3 choice questions here. You have 3 choices. I asked you who you were listening to, but who are your 3 top artists? If I was like, Chris, here's $1 million. I don't have $1 million, by the way, but here's $1 million. I want you to get in the studio with these 3 artists. Who you getting in there with?
It's similar, but yeah, it would probably be Drake, Future, and Kanye.
Okay.
Probably be those 3 again. But honestly, probably Lil Uzi, Playboy Carti, they'd be options as well. I can't even choose. There's so many good artists.
I know it's a hard question, man. It was meant to stump you. But no, that's dope, man. I'm a fan of all those people. So, all right, cool. Let's keep going, man, because like I said, man, these things go fast. We're already 35 minutes into the show. And we got some more tracks to go through. So let's check out Loose featuring JBJ. So who is JBJ? That's another producer, J Ben J.
Yeah, J Ben J. He's a producer from Ireland, from the UK, from Ireland. He's really, really, really good. He makes Afrobeat and Afro swing sort of music. So yeah, it's not drill, but it's a different UK style that we like to use for our songs over here. So yeah.
I love it, man. We just gave him a follow too. And then I reposted that last beat for you and put it on the Sauce playlist, which is our biggest place. Oh yeah, man. I didn't even know I didn't repost that one. That one's crazy. So all right, cool. Let's check out Loose featuring JBJ.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com.
Another Smash band, definitely different vibes too. It's
Thank
cool
you,
to
bro.
hear. It's cool to hear that change up and really hear other stuff that you're
Hmm.
working on. When was this track created? Is this when you uploaded it, or was it something you made in the past?
Um, yeah, it was made this year. He uploaded it first, but I uploaded it later because it's such a good beat, I think. And me and him played all the instruments in the song. It's like there's no samples. The vocal is it's a person who sends me files for engineering, so I just use that, and I played the guitar in it and the piano, and he did all the bass lines and stuff.
Okay, you were being modest this whole time, man. I didn't know you
Mm,
played the guitar and played the piano. And what other are those the only instruments that you play?
yeah, pretty much.
I was gonna say only, like that's I don't play anything.
Yeah,
So,
it's all
so,
good, bro. It's all good.
yeah, when did you start playing the piano and the guitar? Was that something you started young? And then actually answer that
Yeah,
question.
I started playing guitar quite young, like about 7 or 8 years old.
Interesting. And how did you get into music? Is there a family member or somebody in your family or something? No,
Not
you're
really. It's just a love for music, I guess, an obsession, really.
interesting. Yeah, man. I got into music early too, like
Mm,
7, 8, and then started DJing when I was 12. My parents bought me
yeah.
turntables.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what? I never knew why I personally got into music, and then come to find out, and I just found this out within the last year, which is insane to me. I'm 37 years old, man. My parents told me that both of my grandfathers were in the military, and both were musicians. They were like
Wow.
the entertainment for the troops.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, this all makes sense now because sometimes. So that's why I was curious if
Runs in the blood.
yeah, it runs in the blood. So I was
Mm,
curious if you had somebody that taught you or passed it down, because a lot of times that's how it happens. So
mm.
that's dope, man. Okay, we have a question in the chat that I want to ask you, and we'll stick with the three choices. So outside of Pop Smoke and like say, actually, I won't put him in there. Let's just say Pop Smoke. Who are your top three UK drill rappers right now or artists overall?
I'm not sure if you're gonna have heard of these guys because they're all from the UK, but
That's fine.
actually, nah. I'll throw Fabio Foreign is pretty good. He did the Big Drip song, and
Mm-hmm.
he's done a few good songs. Millions as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of Millions. He's a UK artist. He's coming up now. He's pretty good. And Dutch Valley is also one of my favorites. He's quite new, but he's pretty sick.
Dope. You know what we got to do, man? Sometime in the next week or two, I'd like to have a side
Hmm.
conversation with you about some of these artists that you're working with and people that are on, the come up or are newer artists or
Hmm.
maybe people. We definitely need to make some playlists for them because we're really trying to
100%.
expand a playlist and really put these people on. Because at the end of the day, guys and girls, everybody watching, Chris included, again, you guys are all A&Rs. So
Mm,
if you like an artist and you think they're going to go somewhere, or you're just a fan of the music in general, make a playlist for them. And if you're right, if you hit, it's like the stock market. You hit and they take
mm.
off, and you are the one who is
That's how I
playlisting
see it
them
too, like a stock market.
that's what I'm saying, man. So
Mm,
people are always like, "Oh, I got to tag my beat, Drake, Trap." Like, fine, that's cool. But if you jump on these artists when they're in their early stages and you support them, and they see you're supporting them too, there's a bunch of good stuff that can happen. But
mm.
on top of it, your SEO is going to outrank everybody because you already have the clout, you already have the time put in. So
That's what happened with me and Pop Smoke. The
that's
SEO was number one.
and my point is proven. Thank you. So
Mm,
look at it like this. But yeah, I definitely want to talk to you, Chris, after the show sometime this coming week or something about who more of these artists that you're working with and who they are. And because I know a lot of people in the chat are asking, who are the other artists besides, because most people really, let's be honest, in this day and age, really only know who Pop Smoke is and aren't really too familiar with
mm.
a lot of these other artists, but they should be. So I think there's definitely some room for us to grow and get everybody else hip to who these artists are, especially people you're working with and other artists that are on the come up over there. So good stuff, man. All right, cool. Let's listen to another track. I actually didn't hear that one before. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I didn't hear that one. That was dope. It was really dope. I've heard
That's
Coco
cool.
though. Let's check this out. So this is another Pop Smoke, a guitar. I'm assuming you played the guitar on this one too.
Yeah. This one's going on viral in the UK right now. Some guy bought the beat on BeatStars and recorded a song to it. It's going viral.
Wow. Okay. So with that said,
Mm,
after we get off the car, no rush. Send me that record because we have a
100%.
we have a series called Made on BeatStars. So what we do is
Mm.
we feature people on our social media. We actually have a show on Twitch here and all the other streaming platforms called Made on BeatStars. So we love to highlight different stuff. So that's dope, man. right, cool. Let's check out Coco.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Man, crazy, man.
Bro.
Incredible job. Let me ask you a question. Since we brought up the piano and the guitar and stuff like that, are you doing any type of kits? Like, are you doing any like sounds, like just creating samples and stuff? Like I said, we do our show.
I make loads of loops. I'm gonna make a loop kit soon. I'm gonna release that out through BeatStars, definitely.
Yeah, we definitely got to bring you on the Beat Banner. Everybody in the Twitch chat, drop the Beat Banner logo, emote, I should call it, if you want Chris Rich on Beat Banner with myself and Dream Life in the near future. I think him and Dream Life together would be crazy because they're both sample creators. But yeah, man, how important do you think it is? And this might be a dumb question, but how important do you think it is that you do play instruments compared to maybe someone who doesn't? Do you think it gives you leverage over a lot of people?
I mean, not really, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like it helps me, but everyone's got their own sort of lane. I do think that, like, anyone can learn an instrument in their own time. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like it's good that I learned it young. I think that's a good thing.
And we got the time right now, or we did have the time for the last 2 months. And depending on where you are in the world, if you're still in stricter quarantine, like where I am in New Jersey and Philly, those two states are crazy right now. But I know in other states in the United States, it's not as bad. But you should have time. I mean, if you didn't come out of quarantine with some type of new, what I want to call it, not hobby, but new skill set, whether it's you learning how to advertise, or you're learning how to start to play an instrument, or just utilize your time correctly, man. That's what I think, at least. But that's dope. That's really dope, man. That was a great one. I like that too. All right, let's check out what else we got. We got like 5 more. Let's check out anyone specifically, or you put these in order to play them in order? Just because it's
quite like Spirit and Aubrey. Yeah, I think are my favorites. And Buddy's they're all quite good. But yeah, those are my 3 favorites.
Okay, dope. Yeah, let's play these because it's 2:45. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit the next 5 in, but I want to make sure you play the ones you wanted to play. All right, so we got Dutchavelli, Drake, and let's check out the third one, more UK drill. Dope. Okay, cool. Let's play it. Let's check it out.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Here comes that breakdown again. I love it. Man, I don't think you have a bad track, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I'm gonna try to find one though. I'm gonna dig.
That one's inspired by a lot of like The Dark Knight and Hans Zimmer. I don't know if you know about Hans Zimmer, but he's a composer and he does lots of films like Inception, Interstellar, The Dark Knight, and all of those sort of stuff. It's kind of movie inspired. I made the melody myself as well for that one. It's not a sample.
That is crazy. I'm gonna throw that on the movie score playlist too, man.
Thank you, bro.
That makes sense for that. What was that? Is that a trumpet in the background? That dun dun dun. It's like real faint, but it goes like
it's trumpet or a trombone or something like that.
One of the dude. That's what I hear. That's what stuck out to me specifically on that. That was dope.
It's aggressive.
It's really, really dope, man.
Thank you, bro.
Amazing. Yeah, let's get into another track just so we can make sure we fit some of these in here. Because I know people are really digging them in the chat. And
I think Spirit is another drill one, but it's different. And then Bully is a Bobby Shmurda type beat.
Bobby Shmurda. Shout out to Bobby, man. I can't wait till he gets out, man. Here's some new music. All right, cool. Let's check out Spirit real quick.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Man, the drops every time, man, is what gets me. It's just like when I hear these beats, I know I said it already, but it's just like they're so perfect just for an artist to get on, man. It's easy for them to know where they are in the song. It's for beginners, advanced artists. Like I just feel like your beats give everybody a really easy opportunity to make a dope song, man. And that's what a producer is to me. You're producing a full piece of content. It's not you're making a beat and uploading it. Like you're seeing the big picture here. And I think that's something everybody in this chat, if they're not doing it already, should be doing, and really thinking that way. But I'm not saying don't make beats just to make beats and just what you want to get out. But if you're structuring it, to sell and you're for artists to buy, just keep that in mind, everybody, for sure. Chris, how old are you, by the way, man? I didn't ask you that. I was curious. I don't think
I'm 18.
18. Holy God, what was I doing at 18? probably don't want to know, but dude, you got a great career in front of you, my friend.
Thank you, bro.
I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. If you're
Mm.
making music like this, you're playing guitar, you're playing the
Yeah,
piano.
on this one I played all the instruments as well, apart from the sample, obviously.
That's insane, man. It's totally insane. So here's a question. Nobody asked this in the chat, but I already know what's going through people's heads. Because if I was a producer and I wanted to do this, I would definitely want to know how. Okay, I guess the first question would be: are you collaborating? Which it should be yes, because I saw you collaborate with that guy from
Yeah,
Ireland.
I'm collaborating with loads of people.
Okay, so how would someone get in touch with you to collab? Are you charging? And it's okay if you are. Like, I'm just curious. Or are you
I'm
only
not.
working with people like that you want to work with? Or like, how's that go about? Because I'm sure people are interested.
I'm not charging yet, but I think there's a lot of people asking, so I'm thinking I probably will start charging soon. But if you have like good samples and if you think your melodies are quite good, then just drop me a message on Instagram. And if I like them, then I'll probably use them. If I don't, then just try again, I guess.
Got it. Something else you could do, man, is we have the services section on BeatStars, so you could
Oh
actually
yeah,
go
I've
into
seen that.
services and then set up a service where
Mm,
you can either do an inquiry or you can do a hard price. So if you're like, all right, I'm charging 150 or $100 for the collab with 50-50 splits or however you
mm,
structure it, you can either have people pay directly and set it up that way, or you can have them inquiry and you can negotiate a price. So just something to keep in mind if you want to do that. It's an easier way to manage it than Instagram.
100%.
So yeah. All right, cool. Let's play one more, man, and then we'll talk about that track, and then we'll talk about how to get in touch with you and what else you're working on. Which track do you want to play next?
Bully, I think.
All right, let's check it out. Bully, you said?
Yeah, Bully.
Okay, so what is this? This is Bobby Shmurda. You said 50 Cent and Old School. Okay. All right, cool. Let's check out this one.
BeatStars.com.
I love Chris Rich.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Woo, man. Little different from some of the other stuff we heard, man, but still slapping, man. There was that bounce to it is just crazy, man. Crazy.
Cool.
What did you play anything on that, or what was the inspiration between that?
Yeah, all the instruments and the strings and everything, that was all programmed in by me. So like there's no samples in that one either. I just did it all myself. Even the little drum fills going do, and that's the cymbals and everything, that's all played in.
That's
Or like using contact and all this different atmosphere and all of that stuff.
interesting. Okay. Real quick before we get off of this show, man, I want to go over to your YouTube real quick. I'm going to share my screen one more time, and I want to take a look at something, just see what you're doing. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So you have 1.6 million views on Prey and 1.3 million on Woo. Now, these you said these were your top two tracks, and obviously I can see why. Let's take a look. Let's just look at the biggest one. So let's open up Prey. Let me close this before it starts playing. Okay. So if you guys see in the chat, Chris you know what? Let me actually change. Let me look at something real quick. Let me change my account. Go to BeatStars. 1 second. This is going to play. Hit pause. All right. I want to take a look at something here. Come on. It's getting there. All right. There we go. All right. I wanted to look at your tags and stuff. All right. So you've got the artist and the title that you're using. You got your name. You got the year. A big thing, and I feel like everyone's doing this, but I'm sure that people aren't. Make sure if you guys are using YouTube to drive traffic, make sure you have the direct link in here as he does. Make it super easy. Like people should be.
There's a link in the comments as well.
There you go. So let's go down to the comments.
There should be one.
Yep. So you're pinning, like, so that's a strategy, and I see a lot of people doing this, but sometimes people overlook these links in the description because they're so hype about the beat, and they're like, "Holy shit, I got to leave a comment." This is a great way too. So everybody who's using YouTube to drive traffic, you should have your link in here, and it should be going directly to the beat. I see a lot of people sometimes just put their whole store link in here. Don't do that. I mean, while it's better than doing nothing, it's if you're sending someone to a store and they can't find the beat they're looking for, it's going to make it really confusing for them. So always use the short link that goes directly to the beat. And he has it in not one but two spots here, in the comments, in his description. And then let's check out your tags. So this is an integration called TubeBuddy. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Chris. I'm sure you probably are.
Yeah, I've got something similar.
Yeah, so it's actually an integration that we offer. It's not something we can control, but it's a third-party partnership we have with TubeBuddy. Great guys over there. But I use this daily just by searching and looking for stuff. We run our own YouTube channel, well, two YouTube channels, one for posts and beats for all of our members. A lot of people don't know we post you guys stuff every day to our YouTube called Best Beats on YouTube. And then we obviously have our regular beat search channel. But as you can see, he's trending for New York drill instrumental, drill type beat. So basically these numbers here are saying if you type in New York drill instrumental, this will be the 23rd ranked beat. And I'm sure based on these views that you had a lot more of these trending at one point. We're talking about 2 or 3 months ago. So these changed. So it's not always going to be the same. I did talk to TubeBuddy too, and they said you can go in here and change some of these tags up if they're not ranking and could rank higher as stuff changes. But overall, I mean, his tags are good. They make sense for what he's doing. And he's driving people back to his store. So everybody should be doing this if you're using YouTube. I don't want to hear that YouTube is dead and YouTube doesn't work for driving.
It definitely does. Definitely does.
BeatStars is on pace though to take over the search and volume of selling beats. I'm gonna tell you that, and I'm not just being biased, but we are. And I know YouTube has put some limitations on a few things, but what I tell people all the time, Chris, is utilize these free platforms. YouTube is free, SoundCloud is free, AudioMech is free, Instagram is free, TikTok is free. There's all these free platforms that you can get creative with your work and put it out there. But the thing is, you have to have a process in place. Chris obviously has one. He knows how to title his stuff. He knows how to tag. He knows how to drive people to his store. And I'm sure he's collecting data in the meantime, whether it's through emails or his pixel traffic, whatever it is. So make sure you guys, if you're utilizing these platforms, that you take advantage of all the free stuff that they're offering and ways to drive them back to your store. That's kind of what I wanted to show. But yeah, super cool, man. I really appreciate you coming on, Chris. I know it's a Sunday and I know people got shit to do, but I appreciate you taking the time for us. Let the people know before you go where they can find you. What's your BeatStars URL, your pro page? Send them to your pro page. Then let them know your Instagram and just any other social links or anything else where they can get in touch with you.
My BeatStars is at Chris Rich. My pro page is chrisrich.beatstars.com, and then my Instagram is at chrisrichbeats.
Super simple. So I'm sure you guys, if you can't find them that way, just search Chris Rich Beats or Chris Rich. I'm sure he'll pop right up. Chris, real quick too before we go, tell the people what you're working on, man. Like what else besides making beats? What artists are you working with right now? Like what are your goals for 2020 going all the way into 2021? What are your plans?
I'm trying to get some hits. I'm trying to get some number ones, possibly top tens, if not. Definitely just trying to keep growing and growing. Maybe some singles of my own soon. Awesome.
Cool. Well, man, like I said, I appreciate you coming on a Sunday and rocking out with us. I know the chat's super appreciative. Guys, if you have questions for Chris, hit him up. He said to reach out on his Instagram, or you can even message him on BeatStars. And Chris, let's definitely side chat, man, about these other artists that you're working with and playlisting and stuff like that. and about the beat banner in the future, because I saw like 20 some people all commented and we have a little beat banner emote that we have on Twitch. Everyone was dropping it because they want you on beat banner. So we'll talk about that. But appreciate you, man. Again, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you again next Sunday for Sunday Sounds. Chris, man, thank you again, bro. Stay safe out there. If you need anything, man, give me a holler.
Thank you, bro. I got
all
you.
Right, peace.
Thanks for having me. Nice one, bro.